Okay, another question. This one comes from Tara at RidgeGirl94. Always a great lady to talk to. Big Page fan like myself. Uh, but in general, great young lady to talk to. Her question is, what is your opinion on AJ Lee, and do you feel she will return sometime? Uh, well, Tara, I like AJ. Um, Simply put, because she was something different. Um, you're talking when she came in. You had that era of the models. You had your Candice Michelle. You had your um, your when Tori Wilson, Don Murray, and all that stuff. And then she came in um, and also brought that alternative style um, to the women's wrestling, where she did more than hair pulls and slaps. To be honest, if you were to, you know, it was something different. And that's one of the things I like about wrestling is when someone brings something different. I mean, you don't get it all the time, but there's sometimes you get it, and it's something like a breath of fresh air. And I think Paige kind of lifted that a bit more, and then the likes of Becky Lynch lifted a bit more. Added something else, and that was the thing. Also, I think AJ gets a lot of flack because and I even saw someone on Twitter saying that Charlotte was better than AJ. In the aspect of competition, yes, Charlotte has infinitely better competition to work with than AJ did when she was working and reigning as Divas champion. I mean, you had basically a bunch of models turned wrestlers. Maybe a dancer or a powerlifter thrown in there. Now, I'm not going to knock. I don't want to knock these ladies, but not everyone should be in professional wrestling. But Vince thinks if he can make a buck off somebody, he's going to make them into a wrestler. But AJ clearly had that passion and that determination. And it's a damn shame that it was basically taken from her because they were taking their issues with her husband out on her. And that's why she retired. As far as her coming back, I'm not sure. I think maybe her time in a wrestling ring is done. I mean, she's moved on to other things. Besides being Mrs. CM Punk, she also writes for comic books. She had a book that came out recently. And I think it's just... I mean, we all want to say never. And I agree. It's not... there's a possibility for everyone as long as they're still breathing and can still physically compete. But it's highly unlikely. I mean, do I think AJ would come back before Punk? Yes. But as I said, I think it is highly unlikely in either case. Well, Tara, thank you for your question. Well, Jared sent me another question. He asked me, "What if money was no object? What collectible would you want?" Amazing Fantasy number 15, debut of Spider-Man in mint condition, clearly, because you're talking about the debut of Spider-Man. Mostly because you're talking nerd history here. Now, don't get me wrong, I would also like some of the Captain America comics from the 1940s. Those would be quite awesome. But if you said one, it's going to be Amazing Fantasy number 15. A lot of people are wondering, well, why not Action Comics number 1, the debut of Superman? Because I don't like Superman. Super broken, more likely. But it's, a lot of people, hate Marvel and won't go to DC, but I've always liked Marvel's warts and all approach. Even powers come at a price. And Spider-Man is the proof of that. He's you know, he's got this great power, but good Lord, he's lost. He's lost his, his uncle, his girlfriend's dad. Lost a lot of people because of this, because of people going after him. But like I said, Amazing Fantasy 15. I would love to have that right here on this wall. Thanks again, Jared, for your question. Okay, my good friend John at John Ritz 1390. He sent me some questions. Thanks, John. This guy's a great person to talk to. We talk a lot of stuff. Half the time we're talking about TV and actresses and stuff, and that stuff not even related to pro wrestling. Which, hey, you can't talk. I would like to think you could talk about wrestling all the time, but, it helps to change things up. Okay, he asked me 3 questions. The first, I know you would want to change more, but if you could change one thing in WWE, what would it be? It would have to be focusing on only one feud at a time. It seems like, at least as far as the Raw brand was concerned, and prior to the brand split and all that, they just seem to focus only on a few 2 or 3 superstars and whatever they were doing. And the sad thing is, even after the brand split, they're still focusing on those same 2 or 3 superstars, where you now have 2 shows, a combined 5 hours of programming. Still not a big roster to deal with. But it would, just to be honest, you have the way the creative works is only focus on 1 or 2, and then still you have the ladies feuding over petty little jealousy bullcrap. I mean, for God's sakes, you had Bayley and Felicia Fox fighting over a stuffed bear. Because she gave it to the guy she's crushing on. I mean, come on. How about I want to kick your ass because I want to be the better woman. I want to be women's champion. I would think that's awesome motivation to be in a wrestling company. But still, like I said, the main thing, use more of the talent is what's basically boiling down to. Don't, use a lot more talent. Okay, second question, bring it up. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Wow. This is a good one. To be honest, where I live in downstate Illinois, some of you know the actual name of the city in which I live. It's one of those places I couldn't see, living anywhere else. I mean, if I had to move for work, I would understand it, but I'm sure we all have this thing where, as much as when we're young, we grow up. As we're growing up and we're like, man, this place sucks. I want to go live somewhere else. And then you leave. And then you're like, why did I leave? And so that's why, to be honest, if I could live anywhere, it'd be where I live now. Okay, let's have something a little more funny. I hope. This third question: who's your favorite actor and actress? Okay, all right. This is a good one. Let's see. My favorite actor, Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is just, the man's great no matter what he does. He's able to just kind of flow, and that voice, like butter. I mean, honestly, I have always said you could have Scarlett Johansson and Megan Fox making out in the middle of the parking lot. They're all butt naked. You see this big crowd around them. Then you've got, and then somewhere in this crowd, you got Morgan Freeman eating a muffin. What are you focused on? You're focused on Morgan Freeman eating the muffin because he is that damn good as an actor. So Morgan Freeman's my favorite actor. Favorite actress? Shoot. I'd have to go with, I like me some ScarJo, but it seems to me, I go with Jennifer Lawrence. And the reason is because not only her work, I mean, she does really good work. I mean, she's great in, Hunger Games. She's great in Silver Linings Playbook, where she won an Oscar. Joy, a lot. She's done a lot of great work, and also she just seems like that person you want to be around. I mean, personally, I don't think very highly on a lot of celebrities, mostly because they try to shove their opinions down our throats. And I'm sorry, but I don't pay you to give me your opinion on Twitter and Entertainment Tonight and run around. I pay you to make movies or TV or music. I paid my money to the organ grinder, so dance monkey dance. But the reason I like Jennifer Lawrence in that aspect is because she tries to help empower young girls and that about body image issues and everything. And that is one of the reasons why I like her. I mean, yes, she's great at her job, but she's also just a great human being. And that's what I like about Jennifer Lawrence. John, thanks again for your questions. Now, let's get his Twitter handle is going to be in here. So, gotta move on.